Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion right here, right now, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification or join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, before I do shout out all of the current members on the G Plus and Discord, I'm going to do a shout out to all of the new members who've just joined. So a massive shout out to Ninja Man, who's our latest penguin, I believe. Does it say? It doesn't actually say on this particular list. Oh, it does, yes, penguin. Vlad on Flat Earth, another penguin. Welcome to you as well. Also, All People, Free People, who's joined as a lion. Rawr. So very warm welcome to you as well. Pilton Pop, very good to have you. And last but by no means least, but no, Pilton Pop's upgraded to a hyena. Well, good to hear. And also Stuart Swinton, who's joined as a penguin also. So a massive shout out of appreciation to all of the new members. As I say, we are joined by a lineup of people in both Discord and G+. So first and foremost, a welcome to Righteous Force, Ranty Flat Earth and 10th Man in G+. Good to have you.
Hey.
Good morning.
Howdy.
Not entirely sure how the mute button situation is in Discord, but a welcome one and all in Discord. Hopefully a few of you are off mute.
Hello, top of the morning to you.
Ah, yes, you are. Somebody else has done that. Thank you very much, whoever is on the ball in the Discord server, not me. And hello, Arwin. Good to have you too.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Any signs of Earth curvature?
Not from Hermosa Beach.
Not at all.
Yes.
Not from Morocco.
Excellent. Who said yes?
Timmy Osman.
Phyllis.
What was that?
Tell us all about it.
Alrighty, well, doing observations out at the Great Salt Lake, you can definitely see that the Earth is curved.
Tell us more. What are you seeing exactly? What's curving?
The flats.
Well, the ground seems to be curving as the buildings are being obstructed by very large.
Sorry, seems to be curving because buildings are obstructed.
Indeed. Yes, sir.
And how do you confirm that the obstruction is this claimed Earth curve? How have you validated that?
By many observations. Many observations that confirm it. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I heard that. Yeah, you've made observations. How have you validated that this obstruction is Earth curve? How have you validated that? Not the observations, we heard that bit.
Well, going over the Bonneville Salt Flats with two different GPS units with Jesse Kozlowski, we actually calculated the circumference, diameter, and radius of the Earth.
That's not what I asked. How did you confirm that it was Earth
that
curve
data.
that you were observing? How did you validate that?
Using that data, we actually tested it with my observations, and they seem to match up really well. It's also been modeled on Walter Bislin's website.
That's just assuming an R value. Walter Bislin's calculator begs the question. So the
Oh,
observation.
getting a bit of echo.
Hold on, Ranty. I'm still not getting it. You'll have to explain it better. what exactly did you observe? You're saying an obstruction. And I'm saying, how did you validate that obstruction as Earth curve?
Well, you first off said that I assumed R. Now, as
No,
I said,
Walter Bislin assumed R.
$20,000.
No, I didn't say
Oh,
that.
go
I said
ahead.
Walter
Interrupt.
Bislin assumed
Go
R.
ahead.
Walter Bislin's calculator assumes R. That's what I said.
And I said that I tested R. Did I not?
No, you said you measured it by way of GPS. Global positioning system? Well, that's begging the question. So let's just skirt past that and get back to your original assertion that you observed Earth curve. Any signs of Earth curve? Yeah, I observed it. Now tell us about the observation. You've said something's obscuring something, and according to you, that's Earth curve. And I want to know how you validated it as Earth curve. It's a simple question. It's the same question. What's wrong? What's the problem here?
Well, since you're asking again, I'll answer it again, I suppose. I've done it many different times. I've actually done it even with some observations that I haven't even shown online yet. So I've done it through many different observations. Now,
Done
if you have a
what?
different methodology that I should use, please let me know.
Done what? What have you done to validate your Earth curve obstruction? What is it that's validating it as Earth curve? You haven't told us. You just keep saying I've done observations. Yeah, we got that. Now I'm asking for what validated it as Earth curve, and we're not getting anywhere anytime soon, are we? Just the same shit repeated. With me repeating the question that you're not answering? What's validating it as Earth curve?
As I said before, we went across the Bonneville Salt Flats, 37 miles.
We heard.
Using XYZ Cartesian coordinates.
Yeah, we
Go
heard.
ahead. Interrupt, sir. Go ahead.
We heard you repeating yourself. What's validating the obstruction as Earth curve?
That it matches the Bonneville Salt Flats
Flats.
experiment.
Flats. Salt flats. Sorry, this is a contradiction in terms. Matching Earth curve with flats? This is a contradiction in terms.
Is that all you have, sir? I do not need to repeat myself again. Go ahead to the second question. Thank you.
Well, no, I'm still not getting why you think that you've validated an obstruction as Earth curve.
You're never going to get it. Go ahead.
Well, you haven't explained it, Arwin. You haven't explained it yet.
I think I've explained it, and people
Oh, I
who
don't
have
think you
ears
have.
to hear can hear it.
Oh, okay.
No, you have
think
not.
you have? You think that's a win, do you?
Next
Just
question,
declared
please,
it.
sir.
What do you mean, next question? You think this obstruction, observed at the Bonneville Salt Flats, is Earth curve? Now, you think that, and I'm asking how it's been validated, and you're saying, well, I'll repeat that I've gone to the Salt Flats and used GPS and made observations. That doesn't validate that it's Earth curve you've observed, and you want to move on. Well, why?
Well, because you're actually not listening, because I said that I observed Earth curve at the Great Salt Lake, not Bonneville Salt Flats. Next question, please,
You
sir.
observed Earth curve, so you assumed that you were observing Earth curve in this obstruction you've detailed by observation. That's an assumption of Earth curve, then, isn't it?
I can see a lighthouse because it's there, right? Isn't that your flat
Earth
Earth
curve. You have assumed it. I went out, looked, and saw Earth curve. So the only validation is that you've assumed what you're seeing in this obstruction is Earth curve? That's your assumption, mate. Because you're not validating it, and you haven't given us any validation at all, and you want to move on. So beyond your assumption
Yes.
that it's Earth
Do
curve
you
you're looking
want
at, what have you done to validate your assumption?
over Discord or what?
Just tell us what you've done to validate this assumption. You went out assuming Earth curve. You've told us that. You've told us what you did when you made the observation. You haven't told us what validated an obstruction as Earth curvature. Or is your comparison to Walter Bislin's model the validation?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Walter Bislin assumes R. You correctly identified that I pointed out that he's got an R already in his model, and now you're into talking over me while I point that out for the second time. So what, you've compared an observation of a begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking curve calculator that doesn't take into account angular resolution, uses feet and inches, and an orthographic representation of our world to exclude perspective, and you say by comparison it matches the obstruction at the horizon, the diffraction limit. That's not validation of Earth curve. That's proof that you can beg the question by way of a proof of nothing calculator.
Yes, I've also observed the sunrise and sunset.
you have not proved Earth curve, you dumb fuck. You've assumed Earth curve by way of a model that's got an R value already, by way of going out and telling us that you're going to look for Earth curve. So anything you see is already decided by you and this model comparison that's already got Earth curve in the fucking title. You demented stupidity. It's already got Earth curve in the title, mate. The calculator already knows, doesn't it? Like your assumption that you're looking for Earth curve. This is not Earth curve that you found. This is your demonstration of your fundamentalist religious belief in a model that assumes R. What's your proof of the R value that was assumed in Walter Bislin's model? Your bloody observation, you circular reasoning dickhead.
My experiment over the Bonneville salt flat, sir.
So your observation confirms the R that you're confirming the observation with, you circular reasoning dickhead.
No.
Yeah! You're just fucking retarded. So your observation that's confirmed by an R value in a model is confirmed by the observation? You stupid, demented, circle-jerking asshole. You're retarded. It's called begging the question and circular reasoning.
Oh, you're just not
Are
getting
you
it.
done, you
There's
dumb fuck? Are you done, Tim? Yeah, I'll decide when we move on. When your stupid assertion and begging the question fallacies been laid bare for everyone to see just how dumb you are. Then we'll move on, you dumb fuck, circular reasoning, begging the question moron. So no, assuming R in a model and claiming you've gone out and confirmed the model you've assumed to confirm the Earth curve you're assuming doesn't prove anything than you having circular reasoning for logic. You dumbo. Yeah, we're done, Tim. We'll move on. We'll move on, you dumbo. Learn how not to use circular reasoning and decent logic, you fallacious moron. Okay, Tim?
Next.
Fallacious moron. You. Stick to banging bimbos.
Sunrise, sunset, debunk
Yeah, stick to banging bimbos, you dumb fuck. Any signs of axial
Go ahead, Nick.
rotation?
Nope.
Yes, there's
Earth
actually
is stationary.
two celestial points.
Tim, any
Celestial
signs of
point,
axial
a southern
rotation, Tim?
celestial point.
Any signs of axial
Yes.
rotation?
Yeah.
Go on, let's hear this.
Yes, the northern and southern celestial point, the circumpolar stars around it, when you're standing in the northern hemisphere looking.
That's begging the question, you dumb fuck. Hemisphere? So already we're making this example on a sphere, you stupid bonehead.
Go ahead, sir.
Dumb fuck. Hemisphere assumes we're on a sphere, you stupid idiot. Yeah, that silence is you not understanding your dumb fuck fallacious reasoning for the second time. Hemisphere automatically assumes we're on a sphere, Tim.
Alrighty, well, testing this.
Alrighty not, you dumb fuck. It's the second fallacious logic reasoning you've used in a row.
I'm sorry that you don't have a flat Earth model that.
Sorry, that's a red herring. Let's slow it down for this dingbat. No, Tim. Assuming your outcome when claiming axial rotation proof by using the word hemisphere is begging the question again. Am I speaking slow enough for you?
Indeed. Well, do you have a flat Earth model, sir? Because our
A model? I've just said this twice. So you are going to absolutely dedicate yourself to this red herring fallacy now? After begging the question with hemispheres that you're now running away from, you little bitch? Hemisphere, dickhead. So begging the question, do you get it? Are you thick? You beg the question by assuming we're on a sphere that turns with the word hemisphere. Do you getting it? Or do you want to stick to this red herring model shite?
Yes, indeed. Actually, if you test the sphere, it works. Now, do you have anything that will replace
Test what
the
sphere?
that works?
Sphere's a model, you dumb fuck. So now you're going to move on to reification. Test the sphere. You mean the heliocentric model. That sphere.
No, the heliocentric model is actually.
Yeah, what do you mean, no, yeah, the heliocentric model? You mean, yes, the heliocentric model. Bullshit, bullshit. We don't live on a model. We don't live on a model. So, axial rotation, Tim, you beg the question. Do you have any actual proof of axial rotation beyond you assuming hemispheres?
Yes, the sun rises and sets and does 15 degrees per hour and does not change in angular size.
Angular size? So what? That's a not actual size.
It's not actual?
Angular, not actual. Apparent size, yeah.
Said angular size, not apparent.
That's what apparent means. Angular is an apparent size, you dumb fuck. If I give you the degrees of a building in the distance, yeah, that's going to change as I get further away. It's not the actual size, the feet and inches, that would remove aspects of perspective, like in Walter Bislin's calculator. No. Angular size is apparent, not actual. So the not actual size of the sun doesn't change. Well, who gives a shit?
Another proof would be Bob's
Are you done with
gyro.
axial rotation? So the sun and its not actual bullshit size, not mattering when it not changes its not actual position. Yeah, is that your axial rotation proof done? We're still housekeeping with a fallacious dick tying us down with old 2015 shitty misapprehensions from fundy globe heads that can't keep up with the argument. So are you done with your fallacious begging the question and assuming hemispheres? Axial rotation, sunshine. Have you got any proof?
Another proof, which was Bob from Globebusters. He had a fiber optic gyro that actually measured 15 degrees per hour.
15 degrees per hour of what? 15 degrees per hour of the ring laser gyro. And what's that?
Yes.
And what's that?
Yes.
What is that?
It measures XYZ Cartesian coordinates.
Coordinates of what? So what's happening?
What is it?
So what's happening? Why is it deviating 15 degrees an hour?
Earth.
Oh, you're going to assume
Rotation of the
Earth
Earth.
caused that? Why would you make such an assumption? How have you validated your third in a row fuckwit assumption that this is caused by your begging the question of an Earth that spins? Why would you assume that the deviation, 15 degrees an hour in a ring laser gyro or fibre optic gyro, is your assumption of Earth turn? How have you validated that?
Because it's dependent on your latitude, and it doesn't just output 15 degrees.
Sorry,
it actually has
what's a
XY.
latitude? What's a latitude? A position on a sphere?
Oh boy, that's
A position on a sphere? So you begging the question again, you dumbo. Hello? How many times are you going to beg the question in this housekeeping? Depends on your latitude.
Yes,
What, your position on a sphere? Yeah, I've already pointed out that you're going to beg the question of the cause of this drift and blame it on your religious belief that Earth's a sphere. So how have you validated that a 15-degree deviation in a man-made device is actually caused by your fundy presupposition of an Earth that's spherical turning? How have you validated that? Don't beg the question and tell me about positions on spheres, idiot.
Depends on your latitude.
What, your position on your presupposed sphere? My God!
And
yeah, so you can do nothing but beg the question. It's getting to be intolerable. I want to shout out my new members and you're just tying up time by endlessly begging the bloody question.
Next housekeeping question. Good.
So no axial rotation proof then. You're begging the question of hemispheres, your sun and moon, your axial stars. It's all for nothing unless you assume sphericity in the first instance. So basically, unless you beg the question, you've got no proof we turn.
You asked for proof and I gave it to you, sir.
You didn't give me proof. You begged the question repeatedly. Fallacious reasoning isn't proof. It's fallacious. Are you nuts?
See a lighthouse because it's there.
Oh, here we go. Time for another red herring. Yeah, you didn't present proof of axial rotation, Timmy. You just demonstrated your fallacious logic that you use to make sure your religion's adhered to. No proof, just fallacy, mate.
Next question, good sir.
Yeah, I know you want to move on because you can't admit when you're wrong. Yet your fundy religion was asserted multiple times when you demanded that we assume sphere Earth and that it's turning and causing man-made devices to drift. when you assume that's the cause. Yet we know you've got a religious belief that's imposed on everything. But we haven't had any proof we turn. I know you want to move on because it's painful, but there's no proof Earth turns beyond these shitty, fallacious arguments you've presented.
Okay, that's your opinion, sir.
Not my opinion, I ripped you to shreds! Here now, are you deaf? Not an opinion!
What was
That's
the
funny.
next
The
question?
invoker is invoking R.
Yeah, he's done that.
No, I tested R.
No, you didn't. You used circular reasoning by verifying that your obstruction was Earth curve by comparing your observation to a model that assumed R in the first instance by Walter Bislin, and then saying that you've confirmed that R by your observation. It's circular reasoning, Tim. We went over it. This is the third time. You're just slow. Logic isn't your strong point.
I'm not sure that you understood the whole.
No, let's not hear how I didn't understand. Yeah, I understand Walter Bislin and you're begging the question fallacy. I'm tired of it. I think we can move on. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Yes, you drop a pen and it falls to the ground. There is an acceleration there. What is that acceleration on a flat Earth? Buoyancy and density does not explain the vector. Go ahead.
Sorry, we started with you in a situation that you've already got a pen in your hand.
Yes, there's an acceleration. How do you explain the vector and the acceleration on a flat Earth? Thank you.
I wasn't born with a pen in my hand. Were you born with a pen in your hand?
Is that an argument? Tell me.
I'm asking a question. Were you or were you not born holding a pen?
Do we test everything by if we were
It's
born?
a simple
with
yes or
something
no
in our
question.
hand?
He can't seem to answer it. It's because he knows he's about to get raped with his own argument. Were you born with a pen or did you have to pick it up? Because I would say that picking it up and then letting it return is a consequence of you picking it up. But unless you were born with a pen in your hand, then obviously I'd need to explain this pen because it was already in your hand for you to drop it. That would need explanation. On the other hand, picking it up in the first instance would explain it dropping. It wouldn't have dropped unless you picked it up. It's simple.
Black.
It's a simple cause and effect. You picked it up and then you dropped it. Of course, your example excluded that part, didn't it? That's why he's got to interrupt. Because it's the end of his argument. It's been shit on, so he's going to interrupt while I shit on it. Yeah, you weren't born with a pen in your hand, so even though you ignored the fact that first you'd have to pick it up, that would be the cause of it going back down again. You picking it up. Had you have not done that, it wouldn't have dropped. Now, would it? Dumb fuck.
All right. What is the cause and the effect of the acceleration vector, please, sir?
Who gives a shit? Okay. I'm looking at a pen. It has neither. Tim, what's the cause of it having neither? Oh, that's because there's no gravity. There's no vector. It's stationary. The pen hasn't moved. Oh, what's that you say? If I pick it up and ignore that I've picked it up and then drop it and worry about the vector thereafter, you can attribute a force to that vector. What about the fact that you had to pick it up?
You're not very good without quantum.
Oh, it's time for an ad hom. I'm not very good at. No, you're losing because you weren't born with a pen.
Because I wasn't born with a pen.
Yeah, you had to pick it up. You're not very fast, are you? You had to pick it up. Just out of interest, is this picking up a pen and dropping it in your feeble pea brain scientific evidence, which is what was asked for?
Did you ask for scientific evidence? I don't know.
Yeah, I did. You're so slow
Did you explain the
that you
acceleration
can't
vector yet?
even listen to a question that's been repeated approximately 1,000 times. Yeah, any scientific evidence of gravity, I'll pick up a pen and drop it. Why did it drop?
Yeah.
'Cause you picked it up.
So,
Because you picked it up.
have you explained the acceleration and gravity yet? Does that have anything to do with being born with a pen in your hand? I'm not really
Okay,
sure
let's
if
try
that's-
that again. He didn't listen to that bit either. Acceleration of this pen. I'm looking at the pen. It's not moving an inch. What acceleration? Oh, my bad. You're going to pick it up and then drop it and ignore the fact you've picked it up? Oh, that's not going to work. My pen's not accelerating. What vector? Oh, the one you give it when you pick it up? You fucktard.
Well, it's not floating in by your hand there, is
It's
it?
not dropping neither, you stupid shit. It's just a pen not having a vector. Oh, until you pick it up and
I would
ignore
say
that
the
fact.
vector is still
Yeah,
down
you're just
at
going to
the
pick it up and ignore the fact you picked it up. And every time I say it, I'll get rumpused. So, are we still going to ignore the mechanics of picking it up and just be dropping it and working out the vector from there? Is that what we're going to be doing? Because that's not scientific evidence of gravity, you complete bonehead.
Yeah, so you still haven't explained the vector or the acceleration
Sorry, is
downwards.
this scientific evidence?
Yes. Go ahead.
Excellent. What's the observed phenomena?
Falling.
The pen I'm looking at isn't moving. That's the 4th time I've said that. Are you dumb?
Floating.
Sorry, the
Why
pen's
isn't it
not floating either. Are you hallucinating? The pen in front of me
Why isn't it
is
going up?
stationary. Are you getting it? Is it sinking in? El comprende? It's not moving. It doesn't have a vector unless you pick it up.
Isn't it going upwards or side
No,
to side? It's
not
staying
move.
down, isn't
Should I
it?
say it 6 more times? Is this working? Not moving. The pen's not moving, you dumb fuck.
It is not moving because of
No,
the vector. You
it's
are
not.
correct, sir.
Because I haven't moved it.
Question?
I haven't moved the pen. Like the microphone or any other stupid shithead example when someone picks something up and drops it and says, I'm going to assign a downward vector and calculate 9.8 meters per second acceleration force and say that that's gravity, having ignored the fact I had to pick it up in the first instance. Had I have just studied it without interfering with it, it wouldn't be moving at all.
Exactly, because there's a downward vector and it's sitting...
What vector? Are you stupid? Have I got to say this 12 more times? It doesn't have a vector. It's not moving. Are you retarded? Do you think stationary things have a vector?
On Earth, yes.
Oh,
Because of
on
gravity. You were
Earth.
correct.
Oh, is it time for you to beg the question of your religious belief and impose it on this example? I think it is. Go on then. Insert fundy Tim Osman belief. Go ahead, you fundy dick. Tell us all about your religion. Off you go.
Yes, so Nathan is actually explaining that...
Now it's time for an ad hom. No, not Nathan is time. No. Insert fundy religious belief, Tim. Off you go. Live up to our expectations. Dance for us, monkey. Insert your fundy belief so we can laugh at you. Tell us what happens on a sphere
ahead.
Earth, you fundy dick. So we can all laugh at you.
Sorry, you interrupted me again. Go ahead.
I'll keep interrupting you. I'm telling you, with my little whip, you're my little monkey. And I'm saying it's now time at this point in the argument where you insert your fundy presupposition about the downward vector you're going to assign to my pen based on your religious sphere Earth belief. So, little monkey, insert R here and dance for us, you pathetic zealot monkey. I'm whipping you. Don't you get it?
I think we've proven gravity quite well. Can we move on to the next question?
No, we can't. You've tried this 3 times on each housekeeping question. Each one, when you start to squirm, you ask if you can move on. No. We'll get to the point where the audience completely appreciates that you want to move on because you can't justify your fundy downward vector unless you insert your religious sphere belief. a fundy. So now you're going to either insert your fundy sphere belief, concede, or stay here indefinitely with us all laughing at you anyway.
Yes, there is a downward vector. You are correct, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Next question.
Yeah, go on. Let's have your fundy sphere belief.
It's negative 9.81 meters per second squared. You are
No,
correct.
the pen's not... He keeps doing this. He thinks I'm dumb. No, the pen's not moving, shit for brains. How many... That's about the 10th time. No, my pen's not moving at 9.8 meters per second, you stupid shit. It's stationary. Are you dumb? You need to insert your sphere belief to get this little bullshit rhetoric through, don't you? You're desperately trying to make a pen that's stationary move at 9.8 meters per second, but it ain't moving. No matter how much you say it, I'll say it another 11 times if you wish. But you need a sphere belief religion inserting here, don't you, Tim? Now, you can obfuscate, maybe ask me to move on to the next housekeeping question, or dance like a fundy monkey and insert your little sphere belief. Go on, monkey, just do it. We all need a good New Year laugh at you. At
Force
you.
equals mass times acceleration. You are correct. Next question.
Sorry, what acceleration is my pen experiencing again, Tim? It's 12th time I've said it. He's just so stupid that he thinks stationary things are moving. You need your sphere belief in there, don't you, to make that make sense? You just need to insert your little R value. Go on, Tim, do it for us, you little monkey zealot. Do it. Do it.
F equals ma. Yes, it worked the same on a flat Earth as well. If we
F
experienced
equals
it. Exactly.
ma. Yeah, so we've got some acceleration going on with my pen, have we? We've got some acceleration going on with this pen. It's not moving. That's the 12th time. How stupid are you? Are you really this stupid that you think a stationary pen is moving? Hello, the pen's not moving.
Yes,
13 times, Dumbo. I say it really slowly. Pen not moving.
That's why you put
not
pen on a
moving. The
scale.
pen. I took it away from you, Tim. When I said that you had to pick it up, now the pen's not in the air for your example, isn't it? So what you need here is a sphere belief religion insertion. Just do it for us, you little monkey. Go on. Go on, Tim. Just insert your religious belief so we can all have a good laugh.
Okay, put that pen onto a scale. Now, there's actually a force equals ma, as I said before, so the mass times the 9.8 meters per second squared, and that's what registers the weight. You are correct. There is a force being applied.
Sorry, that weight that you're saying is being applied, it's not accelerating anywhere. The pen's still stationary on the scale.
It's still going downwards, is it not?
No,
is
it's not.
Flying upwards?
I've just done it. Hold on. Yeah, I've just put the pen on a scale. Obviously, ignoring the part where I intervened, picked it up and put it back down again. I'm going to discount all of that and now look at it. It's not moving at all. What are you on about? It's sat on a scale, not moving. What the bloody hell are you babbling about, you fundy fool?
Yeah, because of the acceleration downwards.
No acceleration. Are you dumb? 14 times.
Yes.
14 times I've had to tell this dumb moron that it ain't moving. Other than when I picked it up and put it back down again. Now, obviously, we're going to ignore that. It's not moving.
Yes, it's not moving because of the force downwards. You are correct.
Force downwards? What force would that be? Is it the one I'm asking you to prove with scientific validity that you're about to assume? Are you saying this force downwards, the one I'm asking for scientific validity of, is now going to be assumed in your next statement, Tim? You little monkey fundy. Go on, do it, you dancing fundy. Tell us all about the downward force you're going to assume. The one that you're trying to prove here with scientific
Yes,
validity.
satellites also prove gravity. You are correct.
Sorry, not
sir.
red herring. Not a red herring. Tell us about the downward force. You nearly did, didn't you, monkey? We're training you well. Tell us about your downward force and how it applies to your sphere Earth. You nearly did it. Come on. Good dog. You'll get a biscuit at the end.
Yes, satellites actually prove
Not
the downward
satellites.
force as well.
It's the dog's run off after another dog's ass. Come here, doggy. Not your red herring about satellites. The pen. The pen that's not moving down at 9.8 meters per second squared beyond your religious belief that we've got this downward force at 9.8 meters per second squared. The one you're trying to prove here with science. We want you to assume it and then tell us why you've assumed it so we can laugh at your insertion of your fundy belief. Dance for us, you fundy zealot. Just tell us about how Earth's a sphere, and you've got this mandatory downward force. Tell us, Tim. Go on. You know you want to. You're a fundy. You want to tell us, demand that we accept it's a sphere. Tell us. Go on.
Yes, everything on Earth experiences the downward acceleration force. You are correct.
No, that's on a sphere Earth model, not everything on Earth. On your model with the mathematics of 9.8 metres per second squared that you're assuming Earth is, as opposed to offering scientific validity. So no, that's applicable to your model, Tim. Reification won't get you out of this little bind now, will it? No, that doesn't happen. The pen's not moving. 16 times.
What's the next question?
No, Tim. 16 times I've told you the pen's not moving. But you've got to tell me that it is. Because there's a downward acceleration force applicable to your religious belief in a sphere Earth that we must apply, right? Even though it's not moving. Hey, Fundy?
Yes, so it's not moving upward side to side because of the downward acceleration force. You are correct.
What the downward acceleration force you assume on a sphere Earth? Sorry, we were asking for scientific validity of this gravity, not for you to assume it based on your religion that you're on a sphere. Oh my God, I think you need to go to one of those religious channels. Go to one of the religious sphere channels, you fundy. We don't just accept your religion here. No, we asked you to prove gravity by way of science, not just assume a 9.8 metres per second downward force on a sphere Earth. That's begging the question, Tim. Oh my God. 3 for 3 every housekeeping question. Insert fundy religious sphere belief. We're dealing with religious zealots. It's unreal. Moving on. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
None whatsoever. Still waiting.
Yes, Kepler's laws of planetary motion work out quite well.
Oh, do they? Do you need
You're
to make
right.
any assumptions
Yeah.
about the size of Venus for those mathematics to apply? Any assumptions about Venus in those mathematics applied in the current heliocentric bullshit
law?
reification? Any assumptions about Venus's size when applying those maths, Tim? Dun, 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 dun. He's going to get whipped. Whipped, I say. Whipped.
So Venus has something to do with Kepler's laws?
Yeah. When you assume Venus is the same size as your past 3 religious assumptions of a sphere Earth with a predisposed R value, when you assume the radius of a presupposed spherical Venus is the same as Earth, then you can apply that mathematical law. So you'd need to assume
So
Venus
Kepler's
is the same
laws
as
have
Earth.
nothing to do with the size of planets. I'm not sure. I think you're mixing up your nonsense here, my friend.
What? The mathematical Kepler's third law of interplanetary motion, which absolutely assumes the lights in the sky are planets, physical bodies orbiting the sun. That assumptive piece of mathematics would require the assumption that Venus is the same size as Earth. You're going to get whipped
And
here
how are
on
they
every
wrong?
single question. The question is for a viable hypothesis from any of these fields. An application of a mathematical law to a presupposition that Venus is the same size as a presupposed spherical Earth. This is not a scientific hypothesis. Just demonstrates admirably you don't know what science is. This is not a viable hypothesis, Tim.
Okay, what about orbital mechanics? Does orbital mechanics not work?
Do you not know
Just
what an
wondering.
orbit is? He can't help beg the question. So you're going to assume bodies falling around other bodies? So you're going to beg the question by using orbits. If it's not bloody hemispheres, it's orbits. Yeah, that would be begging the question. Orbits begs
Okay,
the
so you
question.
asked if
Dumbo,
there's any
listen up.
viable-
Get a pen. Get the pen that's not moving
Okay.
and write this down. Orbits begs the question. It automatically assumes that which you are trying to prove. Heliocentricity. So what, we're just going to assume that the moon's falling around a spherical Earth, are we? No! Orbits begs the question. Get a pen. Write it down.
Is the moon and the sun not orbiting to our
That's your bloody
observations here on Earth?
assumption. Are you dumb? That is the very essence of your begging the question fallacy in this instance. You automatically assume that the moon is falling around a spherical Earth, otherwise known as orbits. You stupid moron. Bloody hell.
Was that a question?
No, it's me telling you what's what, you fallacious moron. Orbits is a begging the question fallacy. Hemispheres is a begging the question fallacy. Gravity requires your bloody religious belief in sphere Earth. Everything you've done here revolves around your religion that Earth's a sphere, and you imposing it on every example you make. It's pathetic. You're a religious fundy. Have you got anything beyond your religious belief as proof? Anything?
In the solar system? Do you not believe in other
Oh
planets?
my god, now he's assuming
around?
solar system. So back to one step removed from heliocentricity. The solar system is based on a heliocentric world, with the sun at the centre. So you're going to beg the question by talking about the solar system now? Do you ever not beg the question, Tim?
Well, we can actually observe Saturn and Jupiter and other planets. So
That's
what do
nice.
you think those are? Are they not orbiting the Earth?
Sorry,
Or the
are
sun,
they
rather?
not my begging the question fallacy? What, are they not your religious belief? No, they're just lights in the sky. But you impose your orbital religion on us. Are they not orbiting? You think by asking me if they're not doing what you believe by way of religion, that makes them doing it? You're just a fundy. You pathetic Tim.
What's a funding?
Fundamentalist,
that
religious.
the sun and the
He's
moon
religious. He's got a religion. His religion is a sphere. That's what a fundamentalist is. Fundamentalist religious zealotry, where every assumption comes with his religious belief. In this instance, every single assertion comes with the predisposed assumption that Earth is spherical, spinning, hemispheres, orbits. All of these things assume the outcome, the thing he's trying to prove. So he's a fundamentalist. Fundamentally, always his religious belief in a sphere, regardless of anything that is ever said ever. He hasn't conceded a point here. That's what makes him a fundy. He's not saying, oh yeah, that's my circular reasoning, that. No, just move on to the next point. That's what fundies do. Because he's not going to accept that he's wrong or use fallacy. Just move on to the next point and forget about it. Because it still applies in his fundamentalist world of sphere, regardless of what I say here. Nothing's sinking in. That's what a fundy is.
Oh yeah, he heard me.
Yeah, he's hearing you right now. But anyway, just saying that we have actually exhausted this question. I have answered it with Kepler's laws and planetary motion.
That's mathematical. So I've asked for a viable hypothesis. He's given me a mathematical law. He doesn't know the difference between maths and science.
Maths is...
Not science! You stupid dick! How stupid are you? Did you not pay attention in fucking high school? Maths is not science. I asked for a hypothesis. You're just stupid. Not science. That's
so
what
with the
maths
second
is.
law of thermodynamics, does
Yeah,
that
your
have any math
mathematical
in it, the
law
second
isn't
law
a
of
viable
thermodynamics?
hypothesis. You're just dumb.
Does the second law of thermodynamics have any math involved with that? I'm just
It's a
wondering, tell me.
natural law, not a scientific hypothesis. Again, your fundamental misunderstanding about scientific laws and scientific hypothesis. A law doesn't go through the scientific method. It's just a law of nature. A proven cause and effect is a scientific hypothesis. You've offered maths. You're just dumb.
So is there any math involved with the second law of thermodynamics?
That's
or no?
a natural law, not mathematical law, not a mathematical Kepler's third law of interplanetary motion. No, that wouldn't be a natural law, fuckwit, like the second law of thermodynamics. You don't know the difference between science and maths. I've said it 4 times. Go away and revise your secondary education. Because at the moment, you're arguing with a juxtaposition between a mathematical and a natural law. They're two different subjects, you moron.
There is math in the second. There is math, though. You're saying?
Yeah, there might be math in a natural law, but Kepler's mathematical law is not a natural law. For the third and final time, you don't know the difference between maths and science.
What's the next question? Tell me.
Why is it that when this fundy, a fundamentalist religious, gets pointed out that he's wrong, he's been asked for a hypothesis, he's offered mathematics, then been pointed out that he doesn't know the difference between the two, and now he wants to move on? Why? So you can forget about this little embarrassing moment and keep that little belief that Kepler's third law is a natural law when it isn't? Yeah, what, you want to keep that fundamentalist religious belief held dear and move on, do you, Tim? Or maybe accept that mathematical law isn't scientific validity offered from a field of cosmology or astrophysics.
Is orbital mechanics a natural law?
No!
Is that me?
No, it's It's just not. It's just deaf. Did I not explain that orbits begs the questions? And your response was to say, is it not reasonable to automatically assume that we've got the moon falling around Earth? No, that would be your assumption. That's about the fourth time I've pointed that out as well.
What's the next question? I want to get this in this show if we can.
Why?
The next.
I want you, a fundy, to be demonstrated as such. This is another time, in fact the fourth in a row, where we've got to the end of a housekeeping question where you have the delusion that you're offering some validity to the question, in this case a hypothesis, from any claimed to be scientific field, and you haven't got it. But now you want to move on after being smashed for the fourth time. Yet what shock! Not any tacit acceptance of your incorrect assertion that a mathematical law is not a scientific hypothesis, not even a natural law. That would also not have a hypothesis.
Yes. Next question, please.
Fine, I'll
The
take
three
the yes.
strikes, you're out, Tim Osman.
take
You're
the
going
yes.
on 4 strikes.
Yeah, 4 for 4. Unreal. As it's getting to like 10 minutes of the show left, we will continue the housekeeping question, but I'm gonna say, shout out some super chats. To be fair, Tim, it is fun having you here. I'm not gonna lie. So shout out to Banquet. Hold on, just one sec, Tim. I'll be back with you. We'll carry on housekeeping, I promise. I know you're keen. Banquet and Garter, your wedding videographer, has become a member. Thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate it. I can't really read that. NCAP Pucarus. I've probably butchered that completely. Send me a super chat. Thank you very much indeed. Same goes to Retro Bill. Thank you very much indeed for your support. Drinking game. Take a shot each time Timmy uses a logical fallacy. Right on. Alexander also, thank you very much indeed for your super chat. Really appreciate your support. When the next one comes in, if I get one at all, I'll read out what it says, but I can't actually read it. So, Jesus. Any evidence of the R value you assumed in the other 3 questions, Tim?
Yes. Actually, me and Jesse Kozlowski used two $20,000 GPS units, did 2 different tests, got thousands of points, XYZ Cartesian coordinates across the Bonneville Salt Flats. Very, very level, very, very straight road. Now you can actually take that and model it. I know you love reifications. And we got within 0.5% of the Earth's proposed radius.
We already covered this. On curvature. It was circular. Do I have to repeat this again? Was everyone clear when I smashed this on point 1?
It's getting XYZ Cartesian coordinates. This is the R value now that we're on. We're not on the observation points of the Great Salt Lake. We're talking about the Bonneville Salt Flats now. Just saying that we did measure R, and it measured quite well to the proposed model that we have that works, that is a sphere Earth and not a flat Earth that does not work in any way. Go ahead.
I already covered that with circular reasoning. So you compared your observation to a model that already had an assumptive value of R. The model you used...
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is now the Bonneville Salt Flats using 2 $20,000 GPS units that get XYZ Cartesian coordinates. Has nothing to do with the observations. We're getting thousands of points when we only need 3 to actually make a calculation. And it got within 0.5% of the Earth's radius.
Well, how did you know the Earth's radius already then? So you're saying it came within...
You don't need to.
Well, how did you know you came within? How did you know you came within it then if you haven't already got it?
you just finish the circle because it's making a circle as you're going around the 37 miles, very, very level, very, very straight road. You take the XYZ Cartesian coordinates. You can plug them in on Walter Bislin's actually app if you'd like, and it does come out to 0.5% of the Earth's radius.
What does? What have you measured?
There's also Jesse Kozlowski did the Alberuni method, where he went on top of a mountain and measured the sun, and that actually gets very close to. People did this, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 years ago. You guys are kind of late here, but you can do the Alberuni method to measure the Earth's circumference.
I want to know what you
diameter.
did. What did you do? What were you measuring? Shout out to Chow Yun Cat. Sociopaths feel no shame. They cannot even blush. Alexander, also, a pen is not a vector, but you can think of it as a vector. Thank you very much for the super chats. Really appreciate your support. So what are you measuring? What are you pointing at and measuring?
Measuring the Earth's curvature.
Oh,
in that
don't
case,
make the question. Just tell me what you're pointing at. What are you pointing at and measuring?
I'm not pointing at anything. It's just measuring the topography of the Earth on a very level surface.
So if it's very level, how can it be curved?
Because level doesn't mean flat.
Yeah, it does. That's exactly what level means.
The center of the sphere, actually. No, we can look it up right now if you want to, if we want to go quantum eraser with it.
Do whatever you want. You're saying it's very level, therefore it's curved. And you're saying level is curved. No, it isn't. That's the antithesis of level.
No, level does not mean flat. It does not mean flat.
Okay, well then you're delusional. Yes, it does.
Okay. Well, that's your argument. Thank you very much. I'll take that and throw it
You
into
still
the
haven't
trash
explained
can.
what you've measured. You're saying you're measuring something very level, and therefore it's curved, because by my definition, level is curved. Okay? That makes no sense. But you still haven't told me what you've measured. You're saying I'm measuring the very flat and level surface. Well, this example isn't selling me.
You said flat. That's a straw man.
You
I
haven't
didn't
told me
say flat.
anything.
I said very level surface.
Hold on a second. Adam, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I was...
Can you make any sense of this mathematics? Because I'm not getting anywhere. I don't know the right mathematical questions to ask him.
Well, if you're talking flat and level, what would be your definition to define flat and level as a curve then, Tim?
No, not flat. Don't straw man me with flat. I'm talking about level. The measurement of the difference of altitude of 2 points by means of a level.
What? You guys tried this yesterday.
I think what Nathan's probably getting at, and I've been listening, I'm not really sure what you've been doing to come to this conclusion. I think that's all we're asking for, is just a bit of clarity on what you did and why what you did demonstrates curvature. I'm not able to ask any more because you've not given enough detail for me to comprehend other than what you're claiming it does, but you've not really explained it. So could you just expand a bit, Tim?
Have you been in the chat listening? I'm just wondering, have you been in the chat listening or not?
On the show, listening intently the whole time. So he's heard the whole conversation.
How many times do I have to tell you, Adam Meakin, that I took two $20,000 GPS units on 37-mile stretch of I-80 across the Bonneville Salt Flats, got XYZ Cartesian coordinates, which do not show that it's flat. Okay, you can also, I have it modeled on Walter Bislin's site with thousands of different points. You only need 3 to see if it's curved or the radius of the Earth. I have thousands of points, and you can look into that if you'd like.
Okay, so I think that's where, if you could expand a little bit on that, that's where we're asking for the clarity of when you took these readings.
Because my question would be, from you're getting a mean from a higher elevation to a lower elevation, 1 point to 2 points. How is this turning into a curve? Explain that part.
Because the Earth is curved,
No, that's you begging the question.
What kind of question is
That's you begging the question. You asserting that is just your fundamentalist religious belief again. Don't force an immediate begging of the question when I stop talking. Don't just assert your religious belief as the answer to that question. Why is it curving? Well, because I'm automatically assuming it. No. My God, so it's just the same crap as last time because you assume it or compare it to a model. That's the only answer, and you'll only repeat it when someone else asks it, so that it seems like you can slip it in immediately because you beg the question, because you're a fundy.
Yes.
I can't believe you've admitted it.
Is that a question? I don't know.
Yeah, you're admitting that the only way you can make this example is by way of begging the bloody question and assuming automatically that you're measuring a curved surface. We said that I smashed this already. My exasperation is because I've gone over this with you about this particular one. I've lost track probably about 6 times for that one example on this live show. Another shout out to Retro Bill. Can we talk to Tim's girlfriend again? It's a laugh.
Hi, babe.
Hi.
Yeah, thank you very much for
It's
being
the fun.
here. With that, I'll say if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, then this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all the new members and people who smashed the super chat. Also to you who commented, liked, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. As I say, stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!